Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today's call for the July CPS Coordinators Forum. I'm Amanda Jackson, the NHTSA Region Representative of the National Child Passenger Safety Board. It is my honor to serve as moderator for today's CPS Coordinators Forum. In the chat, if you haven't already, please enter your name and state and what your favorite pasta is. Some reminders. As a reminder, attendees are requested to not participate in this forum if you are operating a motor vehicle. The presentation is being recorded and you can listen to the recording when you safely arrive at your destination. The presentation will be posted to cpsboard.org/CPS-coordinators-forum in 1 to 2 business days. Today we'll be sharing ideas with you to help support your Child Passenger Safety Week activities. As a reminder, National Child Passenger Safety Week is September 17th through 23rd. Laura Dunn, the NHTSA representative on the National Child Passenger Safety Board, will start today, followed by Daniella Brown, the current car seat manufacturer representative on the National Child Passenger Safety Board. Following that, we will hear from the child passenger state coordinators from Tennessee and Delaware. And please enter any questions that you may have in the chat as well. With this being said, I will now turn it over to Laura Dunn, who will give her presentation from NHTSA. Thank you so much, and I'm turning it over now to Laura.
Thanks, Amanda. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, it looks good.
Okay, so hi everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Laura
Dunn, and I'm NHTSA's programmatic subject matter expert for child passenger safety and heat stroke at the agency. So I want to show you guys just some of our refreshed content that we have for Child Passenger Safety Week, and also just give you a quick reminder of what we have available for heat stroke.
So these two images are
Tiles that are part of our social media playbook for heat stroke. We've all forgotten something, don't forget someone, and we have several that are related to like temperature inside the vehicle versus outside the vehicle. So I encourage you guys to use those if you are sharing information about heat stroke this summer. You know, unfortunately, it feels like it gets hotter every year. And this season kind of lasts longer every year. So I just encourage you to do that if you're able to do that, or share that with your partners so they can do that. So our campaign officially runs from April 25th to September 25th. And we have a national buy with additional media placements in states that have higher incidence of heat stroke. And those ads will run radio, digital, and lots of social opportunities you'll see. And we will have some custom content that we've partnered with some creators to also do this summer. So those might be things that you're seeing. So again, those are available on trafficsafetymarketing.gov in English and in Spanish. And it is all right there for you under the heat stroke section. It talks about all 3 most common scenarios: forgotten, gained access, and left behind. We have earned media, we have social assets, digital banners, and if you're going to use a hashtag this year about heat stroke when you talk about it, we encourage you to use hashtag check the backseat. So let's get on to talking about Child Passenger Safety Week. So some of you may be really familiar with this website, and some of you may not be. So I wanted to share where you can find our assets for Child Passenger Safety Week. You will go to trafficsafetymarketing.gov, and then you can check on child safety, and then you'll notice a menu of options on the left side. It talks about registration, ease of use, heat stroke, and you want to select Child Passenger Safety Week. And you can also select from the tile below.
Now, what we have up right now
Is earned media. So this would be your fact sheet, and I have a little image of what our fact sheet looks like this year. So this is kind of the major points that you want to talk about that might fit your needs, some key statistics that are just kind of easy to pull. One thing that we added that we had not included in prior years for a while was the proclamation. A couple folks requested that again. So we have updated it and added it. We have news releases that reference doing an event versus not doing a car seat check event. And we have a lot of options for folks, but all of those things are available in English and in Spanish. As always, we have our educational flyers for CPS technicians. The Pregnant Women's Guide to Buckling Up is something that was recently updated. So if that's something that you feel that you could use in your inspection station, please check out that updated version. We also have our car seat recommendations in that one pager, like infographic format, which folks tend to like. So available in English and in Spanish. These are some more of our educational flyers available in English and in Spanish. And I would encourage you guys to email me and let me know if you want to see assets about something different in terms of our educational flyers like this. This is something that can be easily developed and put on the website. So if there's an issue that you really want us to make an educational flyer about it, we would love to do that. So please email me and I would be happy to do that. This is an example of some of our cute little social tiles. This one is specific to this year. These are being finalized right now upstairs, and they should be posted within about a week or a week and a half. The ones from last year are up right now, but the 2023 ones that are fresh will be there in about a week or a week and a half. But again, there's things that like don't have years on them also, so they're kind of evergreen. You can continue to use all of those things. We have static images, and we also have GIFs that move, which are kind of cute. People tend to get a lot of good engagement out of those. So we encourage you to use them if you feel like you can, and share with your partners, if they'd like to use them also. Again, another example of some more of the GIFs, and these all move. These are updated for this year. There'll be some different ones, but these are still there as well. The social media playbook, which talks about all of the assets, how to use them, where to place them, more specifics about how to use them, that will be posted again in about a week and a half. So that will be available for you guys. That is all that I have for you today. If you have any questions about any of our assets, any questions about any of our programs, please email me. I would love to hear from you. And that is all I have today.
Thank you so much, Laura. We're now going to have Daniella present with what the car seat manufacturers have planned for CPS Week. So I'm going to pull up our slides and then we'll begin her presentation shortly.
Thank you, Amanda. So while Amanda is pulling that up, hello, everyone. Hopefully it's nice and cool in some areas of the country. I'm in Michigan right now, and it's a pretty hot day today. So I was just outside in the morning, and I'm glad to be inside now in my air condition with you guys. My air conditioned house, I should say.
Does everything look correct for you, Daniella?
I'm just seeing questions. Ah, there it is. Okay,
Perfect.
great. Thank you, Amanda. So what I'm going to be discussing is I've reached out to all the car seat manufacturers. The ones that have listed the information are the ones that did get back to me. So there are a few. If you have questions about ones that are not listed here, please feel free to reach out to me, and I can make arrangements and try and figure out exactly their activities if you're interested. So the next slide, please. All right, so we have Britex. So Britex is, they are actually hosting a certification class. So for those that don't know, Britex is in South Carolina. So they are going to be hosting a class during CPS week, and they're going to be concluding the class with a check on Seat Check Saturday. They have also various marketing activities on social. So if this is, something where I know not everyone is real creative, although Laura gave a bunch of options, but maybe it's a matter of going into one of these car seat manufacturers' social media sites and sharing their sites, sharing their posts. So you're going to see quite a bit of social media contact, throughout the industry, and trying to build awareness that way. Next slide, please. Cybex. So Cybex is located in Massachusetts as well as North Carolina. And they're going to be doing car seat checks. They have various events happening at retailers. So if you are in one of these states listed, if you're looking for partners, that might be something of interest. If you'd like specifics, please feel free to reach out to me and I can assist. And they are having virtual car seat checks available as well, which is something they do year round also, but they're doing a big push during CPS week. There's a virtual safety summit for retailers and technicians where there's more information to follow. And if you'd like any information on anything above, here's Sarah Haverstick's contact information. You can also reach out to me if that's easier. Also, I am just carseat@UPPAbaby.com. Next slide, please. Or you can reach out to our secretariat too, Kendra. Diono and Durrell, I combined them because they're in the midst of still figuring out details here and there on what they're going to be providing for CPS week. Durrell did point out that they are hosting car seat checks in Massachusetts as well as Indiana. At one of them is their manufacturing headquarters, and the other one is where they do a lot of their design work. So Diono is in Seattle. So if you are, in the area, hopefully follow their social. Maybe they'll have some information locally that you might be able to tag team on or join as well. Next slide, please. Even flow, just one more back. There we go. Thanks, Amanda. So Even Flow, they are having local car seat checks at their offices in Ohio, Massachusetts, and North Carolina. This is great, and kudos to Even Flow for this. I was just at PrevCon and they announced that they were doing this, which I thought was brilliant. So a portion of their total sales will be donated to Save Kids Worldwide. There's more information at evenflow.com. So they're going to be doing this during CPS week, which is fantastic. We do have virtual car seat checks also, and they have blog posts to support CPS education. And as well, Sarah Haverstick is a good go-to for you on anything related to Even Flow, as well as Cybex right now. Next slide, please. UPPAbaby. So UPPAbaby is out of California. They have a boatload of activities. A lot of this is listed under Baby Safety Month as well. However, there is a continuation into CPS week. So they wanted to make sure that they had everything included. So they're doing a safety course with video and quizzes for consumers. They are doing a couple features with their safety advocate, Jonathan. You'll see that on here. They're doing a couple blog posts, as well as obviously a lot of social engagement and activities. They have a car seat safety course scheduled, as well as some national seat checks Saturday activities. Next slide, please. Ride Safer, they are located in Illinois. And there's one thing I want to point out is, so they're participating in a huge JPMA, MACPS, Safe Kids, NHTSA kickoff event. There's also the other manufacturers that are participating in that are Even Flow, UPPAbaby, Nuna, as well as Kiko. So we are going to be traveling to Washington, DC, as well as Ride Safer. And we're going to be doing a kickoff event on the Saturday prior to the start of CPS week. And we're hoping to get a lot of media coverage and build awareness for what lies ahead for the upcoming week. So we're doing a big car seat check in Washington, D.C. Next slide, please. UPPAbaby, we have a boatload of things planned. One thing they wanted to make sure that I mentioned, we are doing a UPPA Gives Back initiative. And that again is like a charity donation. And we're donating to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute during all of Baby Safety Month, actually. So that's one of the activities we're doing. We obviously have weekly emails and email blasts and blog posts and social media posts based around using our UPPAbaby gear, but then also explaining a lot of tips and tricks for consumers. There's going to be an interactive quiz, which we typically do every CPS week. A lot of promotion of our virtual car seat checks, which we've been doing for years. I personally love them because it really does empower the end user to do those virtual checks. And we're just there for support. So we also have, we're doing events at our hub locations. So our hub locations, we do stroller tune-ups as well as car seat checks. And that is in Boston, in Santa Monica, and we also have one in Brooklyn. So this one right now is scheduled for Boston. It may be expanding to our other 2 locations. And as I mentioned, we're also participating in the kickoff event in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, the 16th. And I believe, Amanda, that is my last slide.
Yes, thank you so much, Daniela. That was very informative and great resources for all of us to use for CPS week. I'm going to turn it now to Julie Brewer, who is Tennessee's CPS coordinator, and she's going to talk about the great work that Tennessee has done in the past and is planning for CPS week. Julie, take it away.
Right, so you can see my slides.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So I did it right. Woo. So I'm excited to be able to talk about this because it's something we've been planning for a little while now, and wasn't actually going to be unveiled in the state until next week. We have our annual Child Passenger Safety Conference where almost like 120 to 150 of our techs and instructors from across the state will gather. And we were going to unveil it at that time to get everybody excited about planning some of the community engagement events and activities. So here goes with our sneak preview for you guys. I can get it to advance. That would be nice. Okay, so we started by developing just an overall toolkit for distribution across the state to all of our fitting stations, our partners, and things like that. In the first group, the first time we met, we decided we had to have somebody who was knowledgeable in this. And so we were working with our paid media buyer through our highway safety office. And she developed a timeline for us with different campaign components to include, and which includes all of the big kind of resources that most of your big campaigns would include. And so the first one we're dabbling in for the first time, we're going to have a CPS radio ad, and I don't have anything prepped besides a written script to share with you guys. So I'll just kind of explain. And basically we have a 15-second and a 30-second radio spot focused on young caregivers having a discussion about car seat struggles. So it's complicated, we get it. Visit a fitting station to answer some of your questions and get your puzzles solved. So that's the gist of our radio spot. And the cool thing is the goal is to get it produced in English and in Spanish and shared through our paid media partner radio stations for free with their donated airtime. And that email went out today to over 20 radio vendors, including like Cumulus and iHeart and Odyssey and the big vendors. And we've already heard back from the Knoxville area, Memphis area, and Nashville area that they're all hungry for it. They're all eager, and they just said all you had to do is ask. And so we're excited to have that kind of launch soon. So the next thing we've got is our social media. We're kind of heavy on that in the state, and we rely mostly on free distribution because CPS doesn't have an advertising budget. So our creative team developed the messaging and resources that are going to be distributed through a toolkit that's directed to our carseatsafety.kids microsite. Buying a microsite sounded like I had no idea where to begin, but we purchased a URL basically for less than $30. And it's just a landing page that is going to funnel through our Highway Safety Office trafficsafety.org website. And it hasn't been built yet, but it's going to include parts like all of our social media graphics, and it's going to be shared again with all the fitting stations, independent techs, partner agencies, and stakeholders, and they can all go to this landing page and pull from the resources, all the graphics, topics, discussion points for the week, different things to target on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all leading up to Seat Check Saturday. But all of these resources are going to be packaged and present that cohesive branding that will give us a united front across the state, and hopefully make it also easy for the agencies and partners to share and advertise their resources, advertise their fitting stations, advertise their car seat checks and all the events. So, and it won't cost them anything. It'll all be free. One of the things that we are going to be doing on that site is also point out to the national resources like the traffic safety marketing.gov. So we know we're not necessarily all graphic designers and things like that. So we just needed to make it easy and a one-stop shop kind of thing. So the next thing is billboards. We've never really done a billboard outside of what NHTSA has provided in the past. So we're taking a stab at it this year. Again, it's going to go along with all that toolkit branding and present that cohesive messaging. And we're also going to identify different high-risk locations so we can strategically present those messages on the billboard. So there's 3 on the screen right now. And if you guys can take a few seconds in the chat box, we need to decide which message we're going to go with. So you got option 1, 2, and 3. If you want to plug that into the chat box, that would be really fun. So simple messages, secure your precious cargo, all directing to that landing page, or our graphics better without photographs. But most parents, when they see that orange, warning sign, or they think, oh, sobriety checkpoint or something like that, and so they look at this and they'll say, child seat check or car safety check or whatever your thing is called. They'll know that this is a place that they can come get information about how to check if their seats are the right way. So hopefully that's a fun thing, and I can't wait to see what you guys think about the options on the screen. So the next thing, we're going to stick with some traditional CPS week activities. We've identified some high profile locations, and some partners in the state were able to secure checkup event time, designated parking lots and things like that to hold events at our Chattanooga Zoo. That partner is making all the arrangements, so that's really easy for me to just coordinate technicians to show up. So, and then we've also got an event happening in the Middle Tennessee area, which is a specific, it's one of our largest and fastest growing Hispanic population areas. So we're going to be doing a seat check event during the middle of the week at Plaza Mariachi. We're also going to be having our at least one certification course that I know of. So we'll be bringing new techs into the fold, and hopefully all of these ad campaigns will drive some momentum and some attendance to the car seat check event for Spills 4. So we also have our elementary school program, and it's a pretty busy week for for Ollie the Otter to get out to the schools. Last year, we partnered with a couple of our local schools to do car line checkup events. And at first I was like, no way, I'm not dealing with a car line drive-through event because I am a recently recovered parent of car line fatigue and trauma. But the school was persistent, and they were also located in one of our high-risk communities. So we did our Ollie Otter presentation with the kids, which just encourages them to, grow up in their booster seat, but also booster seats are cool. So when we designated our parking area, we actually had over 20 caregivers pull through to our car seat check line and stick around long enough for us to talk through the car seat check process and help them get their car seats installed. And so their kids were safer when they arrived, and the caregivers left feeling more confident. So everything went smooth. We're actually considering doing it again with a couple of new school locations. So another thing that we do typically several times throughout the year, but we're going to advertise our billboards and our social media. We're going to share that with our Tennessee Department of Tourism. And we have 16 welcome centers across the state at our entry points along the interstates. We also have, I think it's 21 or more rest areas, which are the ones that are just kind of roadside rest areas for people to pull off, take a nap, use the restroom, get refreshed. So they have all of their closed caption TVs, and they'll be doing, hopefully the goal is to get them to also display our car seat messaging and CPS week messaging. So we're also going to be doing something a little bit new with our workshops. We're going to target some of our more rural locations during CPS week for those techs that don't get to come out to our big conference. We're going to reach out to those areas and host some CEU workshops and hopefully get our techs recertified through, or actually one step closer to recertification through that. So, and lastly, we have, I guess one thing that's kind of unique to Tennessee is we have our CPS app that we share with all of our new technicians, because it's kind of a one-stop shop handheld device with all of these external resources at your fingertips, from videos on car seat installation, which we're pointing to the experts, we didn't create any of our own videos for this. Also pointing to our fitting stations map and all those other kind of neat resources. So if anybody has any questions or want to know how we came up with these cool things, there are a lot of smart people that teamed up to do this, and I just get to be their voice. So hopefully, I guess I'll extend the invitation if you're all traveling through Tennessee next week, August 2nd. We're having our CPS pre-conference in Franklin. So if you want to join, send me an email or put it in the chat and I'll save a seat at the table. So thanks for giving me time to talk.
Thank you so much, Julie. That was wonderful. Such great resources and programming for the families in Tennessee. And we're so grateful for you to be able to be on today's call to share the work that you're doing. Next up, we have Aubrey Klick, and she is going to be talking about the great work that is occurring in Delaware. So I'm going to share my screen and then we'll begin Aubrey's presentation. Can you see it, Aubrey?
Now I can, yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to go off the camera and mute and just let me know I want to advance to the next slide.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Aubrey Klick. I'm with the Delaware Office of Highway Safety, and I am our state CPS coordinator. Go ahead to the next slide. So for CPS week this year, we're going to be doing some traditional CPS seat check events, and we're also going to be doing a lot of social media posting for our new law in Delaware. So for the C-Check events, I really tried to partner with agencies that we've worked with before, where we have had excellent partnerships. The events have gone very, very well. So to start with, we're going to be we have a seat check event scheduled with North Smyrna Elementary School. So if you could go to the next slide. So for the school, we held an event for them back in April, and the advertising that the school did for our seat check event absolutely blew me away. So we really tried to nail down something with them for CPS week this year. So I created the flyer for them that you see in the photo, and I sent it over. And on the right, they enlarged it, put it out at their drop off and pickup line throughout the week, that week of the car seat check. They also printed off flyers and sent them home in every child's backpack. They included the car seat check in their weekly messaging. They included the flyer in their email messaging to all of their families. We ended up, there's a park directly across from their school. So we set up there for the entire day from 8 to 4. We had families stopping. They were pulling up before 8 o'clock. And we even had families driving. I had a mom from Maryland come over because she said that it's hard to find events on Eastern Shore in her area. So she drove an hour to come see us at that seat check event. And all thanks to all the wonderful spreading of the message from the school and from the families that attend that school. So we're going to be going there again this year during CPS week, and we're going to go on a Thursday, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Because if it's not broke, we're not going to fix it. So we're hoping for the same amount of success there. And it's also just an absolutely wonderful partnership that we made with the local school district. And they even sent one of their safety officers for the district to get certified last year because they loved it so much. So the next one that we're going to go to is our emergency management agency has started to have a family emergency preparedness day every year. And this event has taken the place of, we used to have an event called Safe Summer Day at our local park. And that event was kind of where families, they knew that there would be a car seat check. So we had a lot of families that would come every year because they knew that there was a car seat check there, and that was their yearly checkup that they did on their car seats. That event sadly disappeared with the pandemic, but the Delaware Emergency Management Agency started it up again, just under a different name. And at this event, it's a full-on safety day for the entire park. So we have local health systems that come out, fire departments, police departments, the local Air Force Base. It is just a full safety day for families with resources from the local community. And so you see in the photo on the right, we set up our tents right in the parking lot where people have to go through to get out of the park. So they don't have to drive through our tents, but if they don't want to stop, they certainly do have to go around them. And we do have a large area, you can't see it in the photo, we have a large area blocked off to the right. So any children that are not in vehicles, we keep them in a grass fenced area off to the right so that they're not anywhere near the traffic. But this event is always incredibly popular, incredibly well attended. So when this was coming back this year, we were very excited that it coincided. It will be our Seat Check Saturday event for this year. So just getting that word out there with all of these other public agencies and touching on safety, not just in child passenger safety, but all other facets as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So our first state is finally up to date with our child passenger safety law. So on June 30th, 2023, Senate Bill 68 was signed into law, which strengthened our child passenger safety laws. So before, our child passenger safety law used to state that just a child under age 8 or 65 pounds had to be restrained in the way the manufacturer intends for them to, in a approved child restraint. And we have now strengthened that to say that children must ride rear facing until age 2 and 30 pounds, ride in a harness seat until at least age 4 and 40 pounds, and ride in a booster seat until reaching the height or weight maximum listed by the child restraint manufacturer. So if you go to the next slide, Our highway safety office was tasked, written into that law was that within 180 days, we needed to start notifying the public. So we are going to be using CPS Week as a big push on our social media platforms to really try and get this law out there. We are also going to try and get on, there's a little local radio show that we can go on. It's held in the mornings, but a lot of locals sit and watch it and try and get on that as well to announce the new law during CPS week. So we're really going to focus efforts on getting the word out there because it was signed this year, but it is not fully effective until 2024. And one of the things that we did with our law is we wanted to make sure that the law focused on education and not on fines. So we dropped for the first offense, we dropped the fine, and we just put that the families must be referred to one of our car seat fitting stations, just to make sure that families are keeping their kiddos riding safe. We didn't want to put a financial burden on families by having them have to pay for this fine and ticket, because if that family needs resources and they need help, if they're referred to one of our car seat fitting stations, we can get them hooked up with a low-cost car seat program if they need it. You know, we can link them to resources. Like I said, we didn't want the new law to be a financial burden on families. We wanted it to be about education and about keeping these kids safe on the road. So that's going to be a huge push for us during CPS week to get the word out. How my techs know to show up. So as most of you know, you've seen me present before about my monthly newsletter, my CPS digest. So I'm putting my events in there. We also put this on our social media page, on our Facebook group. And then I also, if I have an event in a certain county, again, this is just, I am lucky in that we only have 3 counties, so I'm able to do this. I will reach out and I'll say, hey, our event is in, this town this month. I know you live really close by and you probably need seat sign off. So come on out, like, even if it's just for a few hours. So I'm definitely making sure that all of our techs know at least a month or 2 ahead of time that these events are happening and that we would love their hands to crawl in cars. And if you have any questions for me, there's my email address and the phone number is my work cell phone number. You're more than welcome to call or text me anytime you'd like. But thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Aubrey. This was great information. And Aubrey is a rock star. She is taking this call from PrevCon right now. So kudos to her for everything that you do. And then just again for accommodating this webinar. We have a fun activity planned next for you all. We want to hear what everyone is doing. You all are doing amazing work. So in the chat box, Kendra has shared a link for Jamboard. Click on the link and then please add your plans for CPS week. If you're comfortable, please share the name and state so you can be a resource for others. Please take a few minutes to participate and then Kendra will share the results. If you would like the results, please email Kendra at secretariat@cpsboard.org and she will send you a copy of the PDF. I'm going to stop sharing my screen to allow Kendra to post the Jamboard. Thank you.
Thank you. So I see people are logging in. Go ahead and write what you're doing, and then I will share it in a little bit.
I have the jam board pulled up on my other screen, and I love seeing all the entries as they're coming in. It's so fun.
And I'm watching them pop around. My favorite part is when you log up to the top and you see all their anonymous names. Because everybody an animal.
I love working with the local college football games. It's such a great way to reach families and to just really like encourage like the fun rivalries that do exist with football, college football in the fall. That's awesome.
I will share it while they pop around. For those of you that can't log in, if it's harder from a phone, maybe.
I see Tracy from Montana noted about a car seat checkup event, 3 Zoom tech webinars, and working with a TV station to do a 5-part series. That's wonderful. That's awesome. Please keep us posted too as a board. We love hearing what you all are doing, and it's just so inspiring to hear the great work and how many families you're keeping safe.
Yeah, Kansas looks like they're going to share ideas that technicians have around the state, and then they're going to share the ideas that they heard today. And there are some fantastic ones today.
Working with vehicle dealerships, that is so helpful. I feel like a lot of times when families are looking for a car for their family, they want to make sure that they can install their car seats correctly, or that those, when they do buy that new car, that they can do it correctly still. So that's awesome as well. Like I said, I love.
All right, and I see some popping up in the chat also. I don't live in in Ohio, so it sounds like maybe Ohio's child passenger safety law might be changing. Possibly. Okay, so it looks like there are lots of checkup events, partnering with hospitals, schools, lots of virtual education to reach those harder to reach families. A shameless plug for the National Child Passenger Safety Board webinar on what you need to know about autonomous vehicles. And the registration link is there. It'll also be shared here. Multiple certification courses.
I love the partnership in education with several child safety topics, including safe sleep, safe storage. So helpful for families and able to educate families on multiple important issues at once. That's wonderful. These are all so great. I'm so excited to hear more about all the great work that you all
Looks
are
like
doing.
Hawaii is doing car seat checks. Christy, if you have extra funding and want technicians for Hawaii, I'm sure there's lots of people willing to travel. Um, certification courses, and then supporting Safe Baby Month. Yeah, Hawaii's CPS laws just changed, so they're promoting that and getting new publications and brochures out. All right, and then again, if anybody wants a copy of this or for ideas, I am happy to send it. It'll also be in the webinar that'll be shared to cpsboard.org later.
Before we close out for today's call, have we captured everyone's ideas in the chat or on the Jamboard? We can give it another minute or so, and then we can do our general announcements.
Adrian announced that Oregon is also doing a safe travel training. And then Erica, I will send you this PDF.
And thank you all for updating the chat as well. This looks great. Wonderful events occurring this fall. We love to see that.
And then Oregon is also sharing local displays in local children's hospital. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing if you want to close out the rest.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Perfect. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Make sure the notes are up. So again, thank you to Laura, Daniela, Julie, and Aubrey for sharing their ideas for CPS Week. Before we go, I have a few closing announcements. As a reminder, there will be no CPS Coordinators Forum in August. The next CPS Coordinators Forum will be on Wednesday, September 27th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The National Digital Car Seat Check Form team will be presenting to us on updates on the check form as well as current data trends. And also, if you have any suggestions for topics or speakers for the future forums, please email them, please enter them in the chat box or email secretariat@cpsboard.org. And we have 3 open board positions for the 2024 National Child Passenger Safety Board. These positions will serve on the board for 3 years, from May 2024 to May 2027. And they are the Community Engagement, Injury Prevention and Healthcare, and Public Safety Law Enforcement. Please help us promote the membership drive to your CPS communities. Visit cpsboard.org/board-membership for more information. Don't forget to nominate well-deserving technicians, instructors, and teams for the National CPS Awards. The nomination period closes on August 31st. All nominees will be recognized. Visit cpsboard.org/awards for more information. And last but not least, the Lifesavers Conference Planning Committee is now accepting speaker proposals for 2024 conference workshops. This year, the committee is placing an emphasis on research to practice and vigorously evaluated programs. The deadline to submit proposals is September 5th. Please scan the QR code for more details. Again, thank you for attending today's meeting. And this recording will be posted in 1 to 2 business days on our website at cpsboard.org/CPS Coordinators Forum. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful rest of your week. Can you please stop the recording, Kendra?